See now here, Spring with JDBC. Spring with JDBC. Spring with JDBC. In last session, I discussed Spring with JDBC, okay, introduction. After that I implemented one application. But in that application, what I did, I am implementing totally business logic as well as persistency logic combinedly I am implemented. Business logic as well as persistency logic combinedly I implemented. Whenever we are implementing like that, in real time we are facing some problem. What is the problem? In real time, implementing the persistency logic and the business logic combinedly is not a good approach. What is the problem? See now here, I am taking like this: public class demo bin. After that, private JDBC template. JT. After that, I am generating the setter injection or constructor injection, whatever it may be. Public demo bin. Under that, JDBC template JT. Now this dot JT is equal to JT. Now public void create table. Under that, I am taken JT dot execute. Now here I am written the query: create table name is what? Employee. Under that, EMP ID, number type, the next E name, varchar, right, varchar 2 of 10. The next eval number. Now 7,2. The next, after that, public void insert row. Now JT dot update. Now here I am passing insert into employee values. Now here I am passing the employee ID, employee name, the next salary. Right, I am passing like this. Close the method, close the class. JDBC template is available to in which package? Import org.spring framework. jdbc.core.star package. So now like this I implemented in last session. But whenever we are implementing like this, there is a one disadvantage here. What is that disadvantage? Here business code and persistency logic I am implementing combinedly. Business code means this is comes under business code. This is what persistency code. Combinedly I am implementing here persistency code and business code. Whenever we are implementing the combinedly, in future whenever we are modifying the persistency code, then must and should we need to compile the business code also. This is the problem number one whenever we are implementing the persistency logic and business code combinedly. Problem number two is here I am passing what? Values, static values I am passing. I am not passing the dynamic values here. Here I am passing what? Static values. Here I am passing what? Static values. In order to overcome these problems, now the Spring with JDBC is given to the another approach to implementing the persistency logic and business logic. That approach was followed by the one design pattern called DAO design pattern. Based on the DAO design pattern, we can implementing an applications. Whenever we are implementing the applications based on the DAO design pattern, in future whenever we are modifying the business code, there is no effect on persistency code. Otherwise, whenever we are modifying the persistency code, there is no effect on business code. If we want to develop like that, then we have to go for DAO design pattern. Based on that DAO design pattern, we can implementing the applications. How we are going to implementing like that? Now we will see the one example here. Based on that example, we will get the clarity. So now we will get the complete picture. Now try to understanding here how to implementing that business logic and the persistency logic separately. See now here I am going to take one interface here. Interface employee DAO. Under that I am taken the here public int insert employee. Under that I am taking the employee class, employee. This is what? Pojo class. Employee is what? Pojo class. It contains the collection of properties, each property setter and getter. For example, public class employee. Under that I am taken here private int emp number. The next private string ename. The next private float esal. The next private int DEPT number. Now after that we can generate the setters and getters. We can generate the setters and getters. This is what? Pojo class. This employee class I am passing here. Right? Fine. Then next public void select all employees. all employees. The next public int. Now here I am taken update employee. In the same way, if you want to delete also, we can take delete employee. Now here double eval and int emp number, then close the employee DAO. Then next, after that we have to take here business component, public class. Now here public class demo bin. The next private employee DAO. This class, this interface I am passing here. The next, generate the setter method, public void set DAO. The next, employee DAO, then DAO. This dot DAO is equal to DAO. Then next, after that, public void. Now here insert. Now employee E. Now DAO dot insert employee. System.out.println key. Like this, I am calling the business methods. The next, public void select all. The next, select all. The next, DAO dot select all employees. The next, close the method. The next, we can take one more method, public void update employee. Now here I am taken modify. The next, DAO dot update employee. eval comma emp number. This is going to be returns integer. Now system.out.println okay. Close the method, close the class. This is my business component. I didn't include here persistency logic. Persistency logic I am not implementing here. This total component I am going to implementing what? Business code. This is the business object. This is the business object. Now we can implementing the persistency logic. This is what business logic. So this is what business logic. Now we can implementing persistency logic. We can implementing the persistency logic. Now how to implementing the persistency logic here? Try to understanding. So now first of all we need to import here, import org dot spring framework dot jdbc dot core dot star package. Then next after that public class employee DAO IMPL implements employee DAO Then next we need to providing the implementations of all these methods. Now how to provide? Now we can define here private JDBC template JT, then public void set JT. Now JDBC template JT. Now this dot JT is equal to JT. Now we can provide the implementations of all those methods. Now how to provide? Public int insert employee now employee now here we can write the insert logic, right? We need to write the here insert logic. If we want to write the insert logic here, now first of all we need to get the values. Where the values are available? The values are available to the in employee class object. Now we need to get the all the values like this. Now int emp number is equal to e dot get emp number. The next string ename is equal to e dot get ename. The next float esal is equal to e dot get esal. The next int dept number is equal to e dot get dept number. After that, if it is JDBC level, we have to set like this. If it is JDBC, we have to set like this. Prepared statement PST MT is equal to con dot prepare statement. prepare statement. Con dot prepare statement, under that we have to take values like this. Insert into employee values, under that we have to set the values like this. Now after generating the query, we can set like this: pstmt dot setInt 1 comma emp number. The next pstmt dot set string 2 comma ename. pstmt dot set float 3 comma esal. Then pstmt dot set int 4 comma dept number. We have to set like this if at all we are taking the JDBC. But in Spring Framework, the values doesn't allowed like this. The values doesn't allow like this in Spring Framework. Now what we have to do in Spring Framework? In Spring Framework, first of all, we have to set all the values in the form of object array. In the form of object array, we have to set all the values in the form of object array. Now how to set? We have to set like this: emp number, ename, the next esal, the next dept number. We have to set all the values in the form of object array. After setting all the values in the form of object array, this object array we can pass as a parameter of our query. So how to pass? Like this: jt dot update, under that insert into employee values question marks. How many values are there? That many question marks we have to take here. Then after that we can pass here params. This value we can pass. This is the way to pass the dynamic values in Spring Framework. This is the way to pass the dynamic values at JDBC level. Fine. Then next, after that, what we have to do? This is going to be returns integer. Now return k. Now the first method is completed. Now second method, public void select all employees. Select all employees. The next, here we have to take like this: list L is equal to jt dot query for list. Under that we can pass the query: select star from employee select star from employee. This is going to be written as what? List. That is the reason I am taking the here list. We need to import that package also. Import java.util.star package. Then next after that, take the iterator it is equal to l.iterator. Then next after that, while it dot as next. Now system.out.println it dot next method. Close the while loop, close the method. The next one more method is there, that is public int update employee. Update employee. Now double shall, the next int emp number. The next after that we need to get the two values and we can store into the in object array. Is equal to shall comma emp number. The next after that, jt dot update. Now here we can pass update query. Update employee set shall is equal to question mark where emp number is equal to question mark. Close the query and we can pass this p. We can pass the p. Now this is going to be written as what? Integer. Now finally return k. Close the method, close the class. This is what totally, this is the persistency logic. This is what? Business logic. This is the persistency logic. This is the persistency logic. Fine. This is the persistency logic, also called as DAO class, data access object. This is what? Business object. Now we will see how many classes we need to configure in this application. How many classes we need to configure in this application, we will see here. See now here, number one, we need to configure connection purpose driver manager data source. Number two, we need to configure JDBC template. Number three, we need to configure employee DAO IMPL. Number three, demo bin. Now we'll see the one by one all the classes how to configure here. Number 1, this is my Spring configuration file, spconfig.xml, spconfig.xml. Now here I am going to configure like this: dtd, the next beans, bean id is equal to id1, class is equal to org dot spring framework, complete name we have to take, jdbc dot data source dot driver manager data source, driver manager data source. This is what purpose? Connection purpose. Under that we have to take the property name is equal to driver class name, value is equal to oracle dot jdbc dot driver dot oracle driver. The next property name is equal to url, value is equal to jdbc colon oracle colon thin colon @ of localhost colon 1521 service id exe. Then next after that property name is equal to username, then value equal to Durga Tech. The next property name is equal to password, value is equal to Durga Tech. Then finally close the bean. After that we need to configure the jdbc template. Bean id is equal to id1, id2, class is equal to org dot spring framework dot jdbc dot core dot jdbc template. This is supported by the setter injection as well as constructor injection. Now we have to take any one of the approach. Property name is equal to data source. Then ref is equal to id1. The next close the bin. Now we need to configure the another class, that is employee DAO IMPL. Now bean id is equal to id3, class is equal to org dot, sorry, see now here we need to configure what? Employee DAO IMPL. Employee DAO IMPL. Under that, property name is equal to JT. Then ref is equal to ID2. Then close the bin. The next one more class is there, that is bin ID is equal to ID4. Class is equal to demo bin. Class is equal to demo bin. Then next property name is equal to DAO. Then ref is equal to ID3. Then close the bin. Then next close the bins. This is the Spring configuration file. Now we can develop the testing purpose. Now we need to develop the testing purpose client application. How to develop the client application here? Now just observing. Now I am going to develop client application. Now here client. So now first of all we need to import the packages. Import org.springframework.context .star package. The next import org.springframework.context support .star package. The next after that public class client. The next public static void main. Now application context. CTX is equal to new class path XML application context. XML application context. Under that we can pass the spconfig.xml. After that object y is equal to ctx dot get bean of ID4. Then typecast demo bean db is equal to demo bean of o. We can typecast like this. After typecasting, now we can create the employee class object. Employee is equal to new employee. Then next e dot set emp number 1001. E dot set e name Durga. The next E dot set E shall 2000 E dot set DEPT number. Now here 20th department. The next we can call the business methods. What are the business methods? Insert is the business method, right? Select is the business method. The next modify is the business method. Now how to call? We can call like this: db dot insert of E employee object. If you want to select all, db dot select all. The next db dot modify. For example, here I am passing 1616, then salary is 5000. Like this I am passing the values. Close the main method, close the class. Whenever we are calling here insert method, whenever we are calling here db dot insert method, what is happening? First this method is going to be called. This E object we call them as DTO or value of an object. Then after that it is going to be verified this method is available in interface or not. This method is going to be available in interface or not. It is going to be verified inside this interface. This is step number 2. After that, this method is going to be called here. This is step number 3. Once this method is going to be called, this code is going to be communicating to database. Oracle database or RDBMS, your choice. Oracle database. This is the 4th step. Now one record is going to be inserted. So table is, this is the table name, employee, under that. So now EMP number, E name, the next E shall, the next DEPT number. The next here 1001 is going to be stored, then Durga, the next 2000, the next 20th department. Like this one record is going to be inserted, RDBMS. One record is going to be inserted inside this Oracle database, and one record is going to be displayed. And finally one record is going to be updated into database. So now this is the totally we call them as DAO design pattern. Based on that DAO design pattern, we are designing this application. Then in tomorrow maybe we are going to changing this persistency logic. Instead of JDBC template or JDBC, I am going to use what? Hibernate framework. Whenever we are modifying this component, only for this component is going to be affected. Component is nothing but one class. Only for this component is going to be affected. Now the remaining components or remaining classes we no need to touch here. We no need to compile here. just we can modifying this DAO class and we can place that DAO class as it is inside this business object. So whenever we are separating and implementing like this, in future whenever we are modifying the business object, there is no effect on persistency object. Whenever we are modifying the persistency object, there is no effect on business object whenever we are implementing the an applications like this, right? Like this. So now this is totally okay DAO design pattern. Based on this DAO design pattern, we implemented our application called okay Spring with JDBC. Now here we are inserting the records like this. After inserting the records, now we are selecting the records. So now this statement is going to be selecting the records. This code is going to be executing and it is going to be displaying the records. See, whenever this code is executed, whenever this code is going to be executed, what is the result here? This is the result. This is the way the result is going to be printed. So now EMP number is equal to 1001. Then next E name is equal to Durga. The next ESAL is equal to 2000. The next DEPT number is equal to 20. Then close. In the same way, another record, assume that EMP number is equal to 1002. E name is equal to so and so, okay, so tech. The next ESAL is equal to 3000. The next DEPT number is equal to 10th department. So whenever we are selecting the data is going to be displaying like this. If it is 1 or 2 columns are there is no issue. Happily we can designing like this. But in real time, hundreds of thousands of components are available. Hundreds of thousands of records are available in database. Whenever we are displaying like this, now ultimately our application performance is going to be decreased. Why? Because each and every time the metadata is going to be displayed here. Metadata is going to be displayed each and every time. Why? Because here first it is going to be returned to the result set object. This query for list method is given to the result set object. Result set object was going to be given. This result set object contains the each and every value. Okay, all the records are available to the in this result set object. So now EMP number, E name, the next ESAL and DEPT number. So now here 1001 Durga and the next salary, the next 20th department, the next record. So now 1002 tech, the next 3000, the next 10th department. So like this the values are there in this result set object. Query for list method is given to the result set object. This result set object internal is going to be converting into the map object. Each record is going to be converting into the map. How it is? Map M is equal to new hash map. Hash map object is going to be created internally. After that M dot put. Now EMP number, now here 1001. The next M dot put. E name Durga. The next M dot put. ESAL, the next 2000. The next M dot put. DEPT number, 20th. Like this, Each and every record, one row is going to be converting like this internally. The next second row, M1, M2, M3 like this, number of objects are going to be created, map objects. After creating all the map objects, now it is going to be converting into the all the map objects are going to be stored into the where? In list. This is the list. So now M object, M1 object, M2 object, M3 object. Now I am printing this M object. Whenever we are printing the M object, like this it is going to be printed. The next it is going to be printed. Okay, like this internally this query for list method is given to the result set object. That result set object is going to be converting into the map object, and that map object is going to be converting into the list object. This much of background process is there internally, but in real time hundreds of thousands of records are available in our database. Whenever it is displaying like this, now we are facing the performance problem, and finally our application was not given to the proper response. In order to overcome this problem, now the industry peoples was given to the one more concept, that is map row concept, row mapper concept. Using that row mapper concept, we can displaying the data, but not metadata. If we want to implementing that concept, now we have to do, now just observing here. So now if we want to implementing that concept, we have to implementing our class 2, okay, one interface called that is row mapper interface. Now how it is, we can develop the one class like this, public class employee row mapper implements row mapper, Row mapper is an interface available to the org.springframework.jdbc.core.star package. This row mapper was provided by the one predefined method called that is maprow method. Public object maprow. Under that, what we have to take, now here result set rs int index throws exception. Now after that we have to take here our POJO class employee is equal to new employee. Then e dot set emp number. Under that rs dot get int of 1. E dot set e name rs dot get string. E dot set e sal rs dot get float. The next e dot set dept number rs dot get int 4. We can set all the values. What we are doing here, directly I am going to converting into this result set object into employee class object. But previously here, first this result set object is given, that result set object is going to be converting into the map object, that map object is going to be converting into the list object. Now here I am eliminating that map code. Then finally here return E. Close the method, close the class. After designing like this, this class object we can pass as a parameter of inside our query for list method. So now how it is, we will see here. Now we can eliminating this piece of code. We can eliminating this piece of code. And we can write the code like this. See now here list L is equal to jt dot query also is one of the method. Query also is one of the method. Now we can write here select star from employee comma new employee row mapper. This class object we can pass new employee row mapper. Employee row mapper we can pass like this. So now each and every row is going to be converting into that result set to employee object. Now we can iterate and we can print. Iterator it is equal to L dot iterator. After that while it dot as next. The next employee is equal to employee of it dot next method. Then after that system dot out dot println. So now e dot get emp number plus e dot get e name plus e dot get e sal plus e dot get dept number. Like this we can typecast into according to our Pojo class and we can print the values. Close the while loop, close the method. Now whenever we are compiling and executing the data, executing this application, we will get what? Normal data. We know we are not getting what? Okay, we are not getting what? Metadata each and every time, right? This is the row mapper concept, right? This application execution we will see the next session. After that one more concept is there in this JDBC. I am going to explain that concept, right? Thank you.